in this ethical issues, you need to study about some 2 or 3 important points are there. No need to study all these paragraphs, just 2 3 important points I will be highlighting and I'll be explaining you about that. Okay, so first important point you need to write down along with me. Whatever I will be writing, those will be important points, okay, important to your exams. So first is GEAC. What is this GEAC? Anyone, can you say me? GEAC is nothing but genetic engineering approval committee. Genetic engineering approval committee. So this is set by Indian government. So what are they doing means they are making the decisions regarding the validity of genetically modified researches. So whatever the researches we are making, whatever the scientists are doing the research regarding the disease, regarding the vaccine and all, so that must be approved by the government, then only we can take the significant actions on them. Is it clear? Why this is said? Because unnecessarily we can do. Example I am giving, if someone is saying I want to become a Spider-Man, I'll take a spider and I'll put the spider's gene in my body and I'll just become a Spider-Man, I'll check it. Will it be possible? No. Okay, so for that the government will not give permission. So what the necessity is there in the daily era, what the humans are in need, what humans need, that only the government will be giving you the permission. Okay, so that's why there will be some ethical reasons, some ethical manipulation will be there. For that purpose only, so this committee has been set, genetic engineering approval committee. This is okay, this is set by the Indian government. Now second important point you need to study is patent, not patient, patent. So what is this patent? Anyone, you know what is patent, what the word means? Patent is nothing but exclusive right which is granted for an invention. Whenever we are inventing some new discovery, some new invention, if I have invented this pen, I will be getting a patent for this pen, because so that no one can copy this pen from me. Okay, whoever they are purchasing, whoever they are selling, I must be getting an compensation because it is my invention. So this is exclusive. Patent means exclusive right granted for an invention. Patent is nothing but exclusive right which is given for an invention. Whatever the new invention you do, you will be getting an exclusive right for that. So some developed countries, what they are doing, they have given biopatency for the products, biological products. So biopatency, so some developed countries have given biopatency for the products that people of developing countries are already they are using since a long time. Okay, this is a problem which India faced not once but twice India faced one problem, that was some developed countries, what they did, developed countries in the sense US. So USA, what they did, I'll be writing here. I hope so this is clear. Okay, GEAC is one important. This is the committee which is set by Indian government. Okay, so then patent is exclusive right given for an invention. So what happened? Some developed countries are using this. Okay, they are misusing. So what they did, rice, you know rice. Indians, they know rice. Okay, they eat a lot of rice. So approximately how much? 2 lakh varieties. Yeah, 2 lakh varieties of rice are there in the world. Among them, 27 documented varieties of basmati rice are grown in India. You know this? How many? 27 of what? Basmati rice is grown in India. So what they did, uh, the US, the developed countries, they have got the biopatency of this basmati rice. Okay, they claimed that this rice has been invented by them, because at that time Indians, India was underdeveloping. Still, India is under developing country. Okay, they have not having any idea of taking a patent of something, biopatency. So what the USA did, they have taken the biopatency of this rice. Okay, but in 1997 they got, you need to remember the year also. You can easily remember at that time only Indians invented rosy. You remember in this way, Indians were busy in inventing rosy. At that time, Americans, they have taken this biopatency. Okay, just for example, I am giving you. You can remember in this way. In 1997 only, you have the first transgenic cow, which was invented by India. So all Indians were busy. That's why America, what they did, they have taken a biopatency. Is it clear? So in 1997, what happened? American company got patent right of basmati rice. But later on, Indian, they claimed that in India only, since very long time we are using, we are growing. In fact, is it clear? So afterwards, India only won. They took back the patency of the rice. Okay, this was the first case. First case was about the rice. 1997, Americans, they took the patents, biopatency of rice, but later on Indians only got back. Okay, so this was the first case. Then second one, I'll be writing here. Second one, in the same ways, other countries also, they tried to patent the medicinal, what you call, sorry, the medicinal use, what we are using of turmeric and neem. Yeah, I got it. Turmeric and neem. You know, turmeric and neem, they are, since very long time Indians are saying, our granny and all, they used to say, whenever we have fallen, we have got a hurt, so on that wound they will be applying some turmeric and all. You know, this is very long back. So some countries, they claim that this was, they tried to take the patency of turmeric and neem, but this also India took it legally. Okay, this turmeric and neem also, some other developed countries, they tried to took the patency, but lastly India won. India took this legally. Is it clear? These are the two examples. I hope so this is clear, everyone. So here, this same, just now I explained about the committee. This committee, why it is, it will be giving you the decisions. It will give, validating your decisions, whether it is right to do, or whether it is just a nuisance, you have not to apply, or you have not to do this process. So this committee is set by the Indian government. Okay, so here you can see the basmati rice, what I have said. So India have taken the patency afterwards. Okay, then, yeah, uses products and processes related to Indian traditional herbal medicines. Yeah, so Indian herbal medicines, turmeric and neem. So without our permission, they were taking the patency, but at last India only got the patency. Is it clear? So shall we move to the next? It is notable that many industrialized nations possess significant financial wealth but lack the rich biodiversity and traditional knowledge found in developing and underdeveloped regions. So, what does this sentence mean now? What does it mean? Can anyone say me what it means? You can say me that something developing, something underdeveloped, ma'am. Okay, so I'll explain you. So you know, there are two categories in the countries. One is the developed countries, another one is underdeveloping. Underdeveloped, we can say. So you can see the nature, the God, how they created. The developed countries are having all the resources with them. Is it clear? They are having all the biological resources. They are financially wealthy, everything they are having. But they are lacking behind in biodiversity. Understood? The important thing you need to remember, the developed countries, what they are having, I said, they are having a rich wealth, They are having a lot of wealth, they are having, and biological resources they are having, everything they are having. But where they are lacking means they are lacking behind biodiversity, they are not having. Whereas when you compare to the underdeveloped, I am writing here, when you compare underdeveloped countries, so they neither they have rich wealth, first one. Second, they are not having the biological resources also up to the mark when compared to the developed countries, but these are very very rich in biodiversity. Okay, in biodiversity, these are very rich. So basically, I can say in very simple words, people here in underdeveloped countries, they don't know what is the, if they saw a new invention also, they cannot knowing what is it, why it is used for, and there is no curiousness in the underdeveloped countries. Whereas developed countries, they are not having any biodiversity, but they are having the resources. So what they do, they just move on to the different countries and they search what the new things are there in their countries, what the new thing we can get, so that we can take a patent of that item. So that's why this is the main difference. Okay, you can see how nature has given this difference. We are not having, underdeveloped countries are not having any resources, any knowledge also we are not having. You can write one more point you can add here, that is knowledge. Okay, so these developed countries are having a lot of knowledge, a lot of wealth, a lot of resources, everything except the biodiversity. Here we are not having the knowledge. Okay, traditional knowledge we are not having, but developed countries are having that. Okay, so traditional knowledge associated with bioresources can be valuable for developing modern applications and can also streamline the commercialization process, reducing time, effort, and cost. Just now what I explained, this is the same point. Okay, so what is happening here means they are having the wealth, resources, knowledge. Here we are not having the wealth, resources, knowledge, we are having a rich biodiversity. But where we are lacking behind, we are not having an interest. Underdeveloping countries, they are not having any interest. Okay, so just what they are doing, they are growing the biodiversity as it is, they are not inventing, they are not doing anything. Whereas the developed countries, they are taking the patency from these underdeveloped countries. Is it clear? So biopiracy is one more term here I can explain you. Okay, okay, I'll explain you here. There is a growing awareness of the injustices, inadequate compensation, and lack of equitable benefit sharing between developed and developing countries. So this is only biopiracy, I will write you. So one more term you will be studying in this ethical issues. This is important one. That is biopiracy. Okay, so what is this biopiracy? Biopiracy is using the bioresources by multinational companies. You can note it down. What is biopiracy means? Using bioresources. Who are using these bioresources? Multinational companies, you can say. Multinational companies and some other organizations. We cannot name all the organizations who are using, who are not. So in general we can give the example of these two. So usage of the bioresources by few multinational companies as well as some other organizations without proper authorization. They are not having the proper authority to use those resources. So without proper authorization, they are using these resources. So these resources are being used without authorization, without proper authorization from the countries and people concerned, and also without the compensation payment. So the thing is, if I have invented this pen, or else if I have invented something, the example of pen continuously I'm going on giving, so you will be just mixing up the examples. So I'll be giving you one different example. So if I am inventing, can you give any example what you are inventing? Are you inventing something? No, ma'am, we are not getting time to complete our lessons. We are not getting time to go through our past papers. How we can invent? Is it or not? Okay. So example, I have invented a corn. What you are eating? Sweet corn. That corn I have invented. Okay. Nilofer. I have invented a sweet corn. So whoever will be selling that sweet corn, they must be taking a permission from me. That Nilofer ma'am, whether we can sell this. Then if Nilofer ma'am say yes, then only they should sell it, because this is invented by me. Understood? This is just an example I am giving. I will be saying, yeah, you can sell it, but I need 1% of your selling, or I need 20% from your profit. Understood? So then he should automatically give me 20% of his earning. Why? Because this is my invention. Understood now? So compensation should be given and proper authorization should be there for taking or for selling or for using some bioresources which is already invented by some other, whose patency is having by some other. If we need to sell that, if we need to use that, we must take a proper permission, proper authorization, and then we must what I said, give a compensation to him. Is it clear? Now I hope everyone is clear with this point. Okay, now whenever you all are eating corn, just remember Nilofer ma'am. Is it clear, students? Okay, so now what I was saying, yeah, biopiracy. Why I have erased this? Biopiracy. So biopiracy, just now what I said, using the bioresources by multinational companies and other organizations without proper authorization from countries and without the concern of those people, without even concerning those people. Okay, this is something like I am it is a theft, you can call it directly. Okay, I am not concerning. Sweet corn I have invented, some other xyz, what it will do, it will start selling. I will not be knowing that he is selling. Without even my concern he is selling means that is strictly prohibited. Is it clear? So this is the biopiracy. We are using the someone other's patency without concerning, without providing the compensation, we are using that. So I'll give you one example. Just now I remembered, when I was studying this, I have searched who all have done this. Okay, it is not in your NCRT. When I was studying this chapter, I was very curious that how the people can do like that. Some others inventions, how they can take on their name. So I thought that like there was a sixth sense in my mind that America was only doing, and I got many examples. So one example I remember I'll be giving you. Okay, so example is, there is one West African plant. What it is? A plant. From where? West Africa. What was their exact name? Let me remember. Wait. Pentadiplandra. Yeah. Pentadiplandra. Pentadiplandra brasiliana. I remember now. Pentadiplandra brasiliana is a West African plant. So this plant was producing a protein. What this plant was producing? This plant was producing a protein, and that protein's name is brazine. Now, looking on to the people of Africa, can you think that Africans will invent this new invention and they will take a patency? No. In Africa, there is no proper education. If they are getting the food to eat, that is only enough during those time. Is it clear? So in the West Africa, there was one plant which was Pentadiplandra brasiliana, the name of the plant. So this plant was producing a protein, that is brazine. So what is this protein? We are getting different proteins also. So why this protein is important means two things are there. Okay, two things, the importance of protein. First thing is this protein is 2000 or 200, I feel 2000 times sweet as compared to sugar. What it is? 2000 times sweet. 2000 times sweet as compared to sugar. And one more thing is it is having very low calorie. It is having very low calorie. Now it is a very great invention. I am consuming sweet and that too of very low calorie. Every human being need nowadays. Okay, we want to eat sweet also, but we want to cut our carb. We want a low calorie also. Is it clear? So isn't it a very great invention? So what happened? This plant, the Africans, US, sorry, this was patented by US. What I said? US, Americans, they patented this. They got a patency because the people of Africa, they are not having so much knowledge. Americans, they are having all the knowledge, they are having all the resources, they are having the wealth, everything they can do. Okay, just the thing is they are lacking behind with the biodiversity. For the purpose of biodiversity, they are moving to different countries, they are taking some specimen and they are then getting the patency of that specimen. Okay, so this was patented by Americans without even knowing to the Africans. The Africans were not even aware of that this plant was having this protein and this protein is having these many importance. Okay, they were not knowing. So US very cunningly, very cleverly, just they have took down the patency of this plant, of this protein. Understood? So just I remembered one example, so I have shared with you so that you will be getting a clear idea of biopiracy, how they have taken the patency without even the Africans knowing about them. Afterwards, when Africans came to know, they were like, what? We are having many plants, but how didn't we got the patency? Because you don't have the knowledge what Americans are having. Understood? Okay. Now, one more important thing, this para. So this is completed. Okay. Here you unauthorized exploitation, their bioresearch, traditional knowledge. This is biopiracy. Now here in this context, the Indian Parliament recently passed the second amendment to the Indian Patents Bill. So if Indians are getting some invention, so there is a very long process for becoming a patent for that particular thing. Understood? So what we are doing, Indians are just neglecting. Why to go under so many processes? Who is having time now? So that's why what happened. First amendment was already done about the patent bill. Now what happened? Indian Parliament, in India I'm speaking about Indian Parliament. So this Indian Parliament, they have given or they have passed the second amendment. They have passed the second amendment related to the patent bill. What is this? This is, they have changed something in the patent bill. So what they have changed means they have made the process very quick. Okay, so where more quick, here what is happening, you can say here more quick amendments are done related to patent. You can just note it down. This is only in this paragraph. Is it clear? So emergency provisions are very eagerly, very yeah, you can say emergency provisions are only initiated in the second amendment. I hope so this is clear. Okay, so because of that only some other countries are taking different countries patency to their names. Is it clear? India also have faced this situation twice. First, you have to remember, whenever I am asking any question, you need to quickly answer me, because just now I was explaining you two things India won. First thing was about the basmati rice. Very good. First thing was about the basmati rice. The second thing was basmati rice. Who was patenting? Who was taking the patency? Americans was taking. American already took it. They were not taking without the consent of the Indians. They already took the patency to their name that they have invented this. But later on, after investigating, they found that this basmati rice, 27 documentaries are already grown in India. So then India won. India got back its patency. Then second things, other developed countries, they tried to even patent the medicinal herbs from our country. That was the turmeric and neem. Then later on, after investigating, again they got to know that this is used long back by the Indians. Okay, whenever they are getting a cut and a wound, they are not going to hospital. Instead, they are using the turmeric and applying. Is it clear or not? So then India got again twice the patency. So for that, Indian Parliament has given a second amendment that whenever there is a issue related to patent, we must make more quick amendments. There must be an emergency provision whenever there is a patency in India. Is it clear? So this is the thing which you need to remember in this chapter. So now just we will recall what all we studied in ethnical issues. Okay, you can say me what all we studied. Just the key points I will write. First, we have studied about a committee. What was the name of the committee? Quick, you need to answer me. GEAC. What is it? Genetic Engineering Approval Committee. This committee was set by whom? By Indian government. Why this committee was set? To make decisions regarding the validity of genetically modified research. Whatever the researchers are taking on, that must be given a proper validity by this committee. If this committee is approving, then only we can go to a research. Is it clear? Then we have studied about the patent. Then we studied about patent. So what is this patent? Exclusive right granted for any invention by a person. If a person is doing any invention, then he will be getting an exclusive right for that particular invention. That is called as patent. Okay. So some developed countries, I said, they have given biopatency for the products that people of developing countries are already using since very, very long back. Is it clear? This point also I explained you, giving two examples. This patency I explained you, giving two examples. First example I have given you about the rice. Which rice? Basmati rice. Then second example was about the medicinal herbs. What was the medicinal herbs? That is turmeric and neem. So just I am going through what all I explained in this chapter. Is it clear? So GEAC, then comes the patent. In patent, I have given you two examples. That was rice. Which is rice? Basmati rice. I have said you 27 documented varieties of basmati rice were grown in India. Is it clear? Then comes the turmeric and neem. So other countries also, they tried to patent this turmeric and neem, but at last what happened in both the cases? Who got the patency? Obviously Indians. India got the patency. Is it clear? Next, after that, what I said you, what I explained you. Third point was of biopiracy. Biopiracy. So what is this biopiracy? I have given you the example of what? Sweet corn. You need to remember, whenever you're going through this word, you need to remember the invention of Nilofer ma'am. What was that? Sweet corn. Is it clear? So using the bioresources, who are using? Multinational companies or any other organization, whenever they are using any bioresources without the proper authorization and compensation. In biopiracy also, you will be having two important points. Without proper authorization and without the compensation. So if without these two things and also without giving concern, to the person who has invented it. So with this three, if they are having without authorization, without consent, without compensation, so without, not with, everything without should come. Is it clear? So without these three things, if we are using some resource, this comes under biopiracy. So in this biopiracy, you have studied this much only based on your NCERT textbook. But apart from your textbook, I have given you one example. What was that example? West African plant, Pentadiplandra brasiliana. You will be remembering this. Pentadiplandra brasiliana. So this plant was grown where? In Africa. In Africa, West Africa were having this plant. So this plant was having one protein, that is brazil. So there was a protein brazil, and this protein, what it was having, it was 2000 times sweeter than sugar, and it was of very low calorie. Very low calorie. Is it clear? So this Brazil protein was this thing. It was patented by whom? Not by West Africans. This, instead of West African, it was patented by the US, America. Who patented? US patented this. US got the patency of this plant. Okay, so they have done in without knowing to African. Again, these things come without authorization, without concern, without compensation. US have took the patency of this plant. So this is the example, a pure example of biopiracy. Is it clear? Afterwards, last point, what we learned? Third was biopiracy. Then last, fourth point was second amendment. What was it? Second amendment. So Indian Parliament has cleared or has passed down the second amendment of Indian Patent Bill. So where more quick amendments in emergency provisions, the patency, if there is any issue of patency, then what we are doing? We are doing it more quicker way. Okay, this was the second amendment. So this 4 points only you need to study in this ethical issues. I hope so. With this 4 points, it is very easy for you to learn these ethical issues. Okay, so now shall I move to the next? Anyone related to this topic? Anyone you are having any doubts? You can either just text me in the question answer section, or you can just ask me directly. Okay, if no, then shall I erase this? Everyone, you have noted down, I feel. Okay. Okay. In the same way, just how I said you in previous transgenic animals, you were having related videos regarding that. Okay, here also you can see you will be having related videos regarding the ethical issues. So whenever you are getting any leisure time, just you can just go through the videos given in this link. Is it clear? So basically here in this Go to University website, you will be getting everything. Okay, how it will be, when I was a kid, when I was pursuing my education, I was less like hunting different websites. In some website I used to get some good past papers, and in some website I used to get some what do you call, like questions, some past papers. And some websites I used to get some nice explanation. So everything I was not getting in one website. Okay, so I was hunting different websites. I used to collect the information, I used to take out the printout. But here everything you are getting in one website. If you are opening just Go to University, you will be getting the presentation, you will be getting examples, you will be getting the related video link. Okay, ready-made video link also you are getting. Or we used to search the videos. Okay, one video, two video, three video. No, it is not related to this, it is not related. I am not exactly understanding this concept. After watching 3 4 videos, I was like, who will watch the videos now? Okay. This was the thing which was happening to us, but now it is very easy for you students. Is it clear? So everything, questions are there, examples are there. Moreover, plus point, some tips for your exams are also given here. Is it clear? So one by one, we will be seeing this. A related video link is there. You can watch whenever you are free. So tips here. First, we must understand the ethical theories. Okay, there are some theories. First, we must understand those theories. Then we must consider how these technologies are affecting the individuals. Okay, whatever the patency, biopiracy, whatever we are doing, so these, whether it is how affecting the society which we are living in, what impact it is leaving on our environment, what impact it is leaving in on our community, so that all thing also we must consider it. Is it clear? Then, when discussing ethical issues, weigh the risk and benefit of biotechnological applications. Consider short-term and long-term consequences. Whether it is beneficial or harmful, whether it is we were studying, some cases we were not familiar with. As we are moving on, hello, I hope so I'm clear. Okay. So biotechnology is a type of field we must be stayed updated. Okay, what all the current developments are there, because nowadays biotechnology is rapidly evolving. It is going on inventing. Some person will invent something, some other will invent something. So this continuously this change is going on. It is not like that what previously we have studied that only we have to stick. Okay. Okay. So these were the some tips for your exams. Now next we will be moving to examples. So what is the example here? You can see ethical issues in genetic engineering of humans. Scenario, scientists are exploring the possibility. Just wait a second. I hope so I am audible to you all. So now I will be discussing you few example. Then I will be explaining you the 4 questions of previously what they are asked. Okay. First you just go through this, then I will be explaining you. Okay. So scenario is scientists are exploring the possibility of using CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing technology for the genetic modification of human embryos. So what they are trying? They are trying to invent one gene in the human embryos, not animals. They are now want to use humans for this. Is it clear? So informed consent. So first thing regarding the ethical issues here is the parents must be fully informed if there is any genetic modification to their child. Understood? Nowadays, no one is going to give their child for a testing. They are animals, they don't have mouth, they can't speak, so they are giving. Humans, in case of humans, they are not going to give their kids. Okay, so if the scientists are doing this, the first important thing is that the parents of those embryo of those child must be fully informed. Okay, then long-term effects means assess the potential long-term health effects and unintended consequence of genetic modification. So what is here happening exactly? I will be explaining you by writing. Just okay. Wait a second. So here, just I'll be explaining you what is this in my own words. Okay. So no need to just go through all these long paragraphs over here. So what exactly it is saying, you know. So just you imagine a scientist want to change the genes in human embryo. CRISPR-Cas9 is a tool. Okay. By using this tool, the scientists want to change genes in human embryo. Is it clear? Just wait a second. I'll be zooming the screen. Okay. So this is the example. So I'll be writing here. So this is a tool. What is a tool? CRISPR Cas9. So this is a tool. By using this tool, what scientists want to do? Scientists want to, just now I said what the scientists want to do. They want to change the genes in human embryo. They want to change the genes in human embryo. I don't feel any parent will be giving their embryo to test. Is it clear? So now scientists, they are thinking of very vast, very high level. They are thinking of changing the embryo itself. Okay. So this raises worries about whether parents should be knowing and whether they'll be agreeing to it. So if it might have bad effects later, who will be responsible? Whether the scientists are taking the responsibility, nothing they can do. Just they can say sorry and they can move forward. Is it clear? So this is regarding ethical issues. What I am saying, in ethical issues, we must be concerned. We must be compensated. Is it clear? So like this, what it is? This raises worries about. Just a second, students. Okay, so this raises worries about whether parents are knowing and whether they are agreeing to it. Okay, so if it's right to design babies with certain triads and if everyone can get these changes fairly or no, we don't know it. Is it clear? So to solve these worries, we need to think about if it's good for society overall. Okay, so just now I said if we are using this patency, if we are using this transgenic thing, so what is that I said? The society must not get any harm for that. Okay, we must be thinking that if it is very good for the society or not, good for society or not. First, so we must think about the society overall, if it's following basic moral rules and if it's fair and just. We should talk openly about the risk. We must make strong rules to control it, and we must involve everyone in the decision. It is not like if we are inventing something, if we are inserting something in a human embryo, that must be a private talk. Only the scientist must discuss with the doctors, nothing like that. Is it clear? That will be a crime if they are doing so. So think of it in simple words. Scientists want to edit genes in babies. Okay, what is this example of? Scientists want to change, or they must want to edit the genes in babies before they are born. So before the baby came to the world, that time only they want to change the gene. So usually people will be worried, okay? They are concerned about whether parents understand and agree. This is the concern of scientists. Scientists are saying that we are confident. We know that this child will become more, what you call, Superman type. We are giving more superpowers. But whether the parents will agree, if the changing gene might cause problem later, if it's okay to choose what triad babies have, and if everyone can get this technology fairly, we don't know it. Is it clear? So to fix these worries, we need to think about whether it's good for everyone, if it follows the basic rules, if it follows the right and wrong, if it treats everyone fairly. Okay, so these all are the criteria we must remember, and we should talk openly about the risk, the side effect, everything openly. It should be talked. Now I think it is very clear to all of you. Is it clear, everyone? Okay, so after the example, now we are moving to the questions. So question number 1. This question was asked in the year 2023 itself. Who among the following challenged the patent right granted to University of Mississippi Medical Center for use of turmeric in wound healing? So I said that Indians were there. So but there was patent was given to some other. So who were there to who challenged the patent right? Okay, it was granted to some other. So the answer is, you can see here, Miss Vandana Shiva. Okay, you must remember this. Miss Vandana Shiva, that is the second option. So she challenged Vandana Shiva. For your information, I'll be saying she is known for her activism in environmental and social justice issues. Is it clear? So her advocacy for traditional knowledge and indigenous rights was more. She is having a lot of knowledge regarding the indigenous rights, regarding the traditional knowledge. So in this case, her challenge was likely centered around the belief that traditional knowledge, such as the use of turmeric, should not be patented for commercial gain. Understood the thing what she claimed? Okay, who was she? She was known for her activism in environmental and social justice issues. You need to just, if they are asking for your kind information, I am saying this thing. Next, we will be moving on to the second question. I hope so. First question is clear. This is a direct question, no explanation, nothing. Miss Vandana Shiva, just you need to remember this name, Miss Vandana Shiva. So moving on to the question number 2. What is the primary purpose of ethical guidelines in biotechnology? So what is the primary purpose? Ethical guidelines in biotechnology are designed to ensure that research and practices in the field are carried out in a responsible and ethical manner. Okay, it must be carried in a very responsible manner. So this is only the primary purpose of ethical guidelines which are set by the government. Is it clear, everyone? So the option C, to ensure responsible conduct. Okay, so this is the main goal of ethical guidelines in biotechnology. What is it? Ensuring responsible conduct. So these guidelines, they provide principles and standards for researchers, for practitioners, and for other organizations to follow, and to ensure that their work is conducted with integrity, their work is conducted with a respect for human and animal welfare. Okay, so if there is a responsible conduct, it will be keeping in mind all the perspectives: integrity, respect, organization, for all the organizations, practitioners, everyone. Is it clear? So it should ensure responsible conduct is the main goal of ethical guidelines in term of biotechnology. Next, so this is clear now. It is not to hinder scientific process. It is not to promote secrecy. Secrecy should not be promoted, I said you. Okay, it should not be kept private. The talk should be open. To encourage unethical behavior? No. Ethical behavior, I said. Everywhere ethical behavior I mentioned. Is it clear? So the option is to ensure responsible conduct. Next, Moving on to question number 3. Which of the following is an ethical concern in biotechnology? Now you all must be giving me this answer. Answer me. Quick answer me. Give me the answer. Which of the following is an ethical concern in biotechnology? Yeah, very good. That is the privacy issues. The answer you can see, privacy issues such as the unauthorized use of personal genetic information are one of the ethical concern in biotechnology. Okay. So what is the privacy concern? In answer, what the privacy concern they have mentioned? Just now in answer I said you. Unauthorized use of personal genetic information. Unauthorized someone's genetic information. Use. So regarding this is a very direct question, but regarding this also, I have explained you that privacy concern in biotechnology, it involves protecting the people's personal information, okay, especially the genetic data from being accessed or used in ways that they haven't agreed or that could cause harm to them. Is it clear? So privacy concern should not be there. Is an ethical concern in biotechnology, that is the privacy issues. I hope so this is clear. No doubts in this. So here just the thing is that this includes ensuring that individuals have control over who has access to their genetic information and how it is used. Okay, so the individual, they have the control over them. Okay, they can give to whomsoever they need. They cannot, they don't want, they cannot give. Okay, if they don't want to give, they will not give. This completely is based on the person, is completely based on that individual. Is it clear? So privacy issues is an ethical concern in biotechnology. So next, moving on to the last question. Question 4. In the context of ethical guidelines, what does informed consent refer to? What does informed consent refer to? Informed consent is a fundamental ethical principle in research that ensures individuals voluntarily agree to participate after being fully informed about the study's detail. Is it clear? So here voluntary agreement option. First one you see, conducting the research without the participants' knowledge. What does this mean? Conducting without participants' knowledge means okay, the protein which the plant gives, Brazil. So without the participants' knowledge. So West Africans, they were not having a knowledge regarding that. Then too they conduct. Okay. Okay. So here conducting research without the participant knowing it is West African plant. Then voluntary agreement by individuals after understanding the details of a procedure or study. Yes, that is voluntary agreement will be made among the individuals after understanding the details of the procedure. Is it clear? Understood? Then ignoring the rights and preferences of research participants. So what is this? Ignoring the right and preference of research participant. Whatever the whomsoever the research participants are there, we must ignore them. Okay, this is also a wrong thing. Coercing individuals to participate in research, this is also a wrong thing. So which is the correct option? That is B, voluntary agreement by individuals after understanding the details of a procedure or study.